Hi everyone. I never thought my life would turn into a drama so twisted that even a soap opera would feel embarrassed to air it. But it did, and it all started with a business trip. You see, my wife Emily and I had always had a good relationship. Sure, like any married couple, we had our ups and downs, but I always thought we were on the same page. We had dreams, plans, a future, until everything came crashing down one fateful day. It was supposed to be a routine work trip. She was in sales, traveling for her job, meeting clients, making deals. She told me it would only be for 6 months, maybe a little longer if a project went well. It wasn't uncommon for her to go away for work. She had done it before, and it always felt like we were just a few days apart. But something about this trip felt different. I didn't know why at the time, but my gut told me things wouldn't be the same once she came back. When I first met Marissa, I thought she was perfect. Beautiful, smart, ambitious. We got married young in our late 20s. We bought a cozy house. The down payment came from the inheritance my father left me when he passed away. That inheritance wasn't just money, it was my father's legacy. He worked his whole life so that I could build something lasting, and I thought sharing that with my wife was the right thing. At first, life felt like a dream. We traveled, laughed, and built plans for the future. But slowly, something changed. Marissa began spending more money than we had agreed. Designer handbags, weekend getaways with friends, strange charges on our joint credit card. I tried to ignore it. I told myself, she's just enjoying life. Things will calm down. But then came the late nights, the business trips that didn't add up. One night, as she laughed at something on her phone, I asked, "Who's texting you this late?" She looked at me, smirking, and said, "Why are you so insecure? Can't a woman have friends?" Something in my gut told me I was being lied to, but every time I pushed, she turned it back on me. I started doubting myself, until the night I checked her emails. Default text, there it was. Dozens of messages between Marissa and her boss. Not just flirting, not just an affair, but actual plans. He wrote, "Once he signs over the assets, we can finally move forward. Think of what we can build together." She replied, "He's too trusting. He'll never see it coming. Soon the inheritance will be ours." My chest tightened. This wasn't just cheating. This was betrayal on another level. They weren't only trying to replace me in love. They were trying to steal my father's legacy. I wanted to scream, to confront her right then. But something in me said, "Wait. Gather proof. End this the right way." For weeks, I played the role of the clueless husband. But secretly, I was collecting everything. Screenshots of emails, copies of bank statements showing transfers to accounts I didn't recognize. I even hired a private investigator. And what he found confirmed everything. Marissa and her boss were meeting at hotels, plotting a future with my inheritance as their foundation. The investigator handed me photos, dates, times, proof. I stared at them and whispered to myself, "You're not taking this from me." Finally, the divorce hearing came. Marissa walked into court dressed like she was going to a gala, confidence dripping from her smile. Her boss even showed up, sitting in the back like a vulture waiting to collect his prize. Her lawyer stood tall. "Your Honor, my client is entitled to half of the marital assets, including the house and accounts. These funds are critical for her future stability." Marissa smirked at me like victory was already hers. I stood, calm and collected, and handed the judge a folder.
"Your Honor, here are copies of bank transfers showing my wife funneling funds to a joint account with her employer. Here are emails where she and her boss discuss manipulating me into signing over my inheritance. And here are photographs with dates and times confirming their relationship." The courtroom went silent. Marissa's face drained of color. Her boss shifted uncomfortably. Her lawyer stammered, We need a recess." But the judge wasn't having it.
The judge's ruling was swift. The house remained mine. The inheritance was ruled as non-marital property, completely untouchable. Marissa was denied spousal support, and her credibility shattered. As we walked out, she tried to grab my arm. "Please, we can fix this." I looked at her steady and said, You tried to steal my father's legacy. You already made your choice. Her boss didn't even wait. He left her standing there in the courthouse hallway, humiliated. I sold the house eventually, not because I had to, but because I wanted a fresh start. I used part of my inheritance to fund a literacy center in my dad's name. Something good. Something lasting. As for Marissa, she called me over 40 times in 1 week. Messages ranging from begging to screaming, but I never answered. Because sometimes the best revenge isn't rage. It isn't destruction. It's walking away with your head held high, while the people who betrayed you drown in the chaos they created. She thought she could steal everything from me, but in the end, she lost everything and I walked away free.